Hey everybody, so in this video, I'm going to show you the difference between MLA and APA style. I went to the web, I didn't find anything that I liked, and so I've decided to create my own table and video. The table will be embedded in the course discussion and the I guess links to the website so you can peruse them at your leisure. You'll notice that this table is color coded two ways. The first part of it is like a yellowy orange, and those are some of the slight differences. The green part are all the similarities. So you really only have to worry about the part that's at the top before you submit your work as final. As you're drafting, a lot of the initial setup's the exact same, okay? Cover page. You'll notice MLA does not have one. It just starts on, the writing, the body paragraph start on page 1. APA, that starts on page 2. The biographical data, on MLA, it appears on, you'll notice I even did the margins here. Your name is in the left-hand side, your teacher's name, the course, the date. The title is centered with no extra space between these sections other than the traditional double spacing. And then you'll notice as well that at the top right-hand side in the header would be your last name. We'll just say Joe Smith, and the author's last name, and then corresponding page numbers. But on APA, it's a little bit different, and I will show you examples of this. In APA style, it starts with the 7th edition has nicely made the formatting of the document just a little bit easier. I'm trying to unbold this. Let's see if I can't get it to happen, but that's not supposed to be bold, but that's okay. Title of the assignment's in bold, then it's your name, then the course, then my name, and then your teacher's name, and then the date. So a lot of that information is the same. It's just this is all centered on a cover page, and then the body of the assignment itself starts on page 2. Your headers, it's just name and page number. Actually, and headers are repeated here for first page viewing, but just the name and page number, and just page number now. Sources list. In MLA, it's called works cited, and in APA, it's called references. I'm going to put a little star here because we will do an entire separate training session workshop on that and what to collect and how to organize it, but that's the name of it. And this appears on a new page at the end of the submission. Naming sources in body paragraphs. I've got 2 examples. Let me go ahead and just put some numbers in here so you can see that there are options. There's varieties and ways that you name sources. And this is an abbreviated discussion. Again, I will have a much more in-depth discussion of this in class when we do these exercises. But there's different ways to name a source. Like the first one is an example of a paraphrase. Walker says that, so I know who's talking. And whatever Walker says. Or say it's a specific quote. You could say Walker says that and put the specific quote after, or you could have the quote and then Walker's name, but the Walker's name is required. MLA only requires the author name. APA requires the author name and a copyright date. So you do this, 2019. There we go. So that's what that looks like there. Font, margins, paragraphs are the same. So this should just be a little handy tool for you to remember what goes on the first page of that second essay as far as the biographical data, the headers. What do you call your bibliography? This is also called bibliography because that's maybe the name that you heard it in prior classes. Okay, we'll go over creating those entries in class. We'll go over more options for in-text citations, but this just shows you that author name is required. This shows you the author name and copyright year is required. So if you want to take a quick look, you can kind of see how this functions. Now here's an APA sample. Okay, this is labeled. It's got these little green labels and arrows just to show you what that first page looks like. So in APA 7th edition, we've got the title in bold, then we've got a space, and actually let me go back into my document and do that because that's what it looks like, right? author name. They have department and school. Do we even have department and school? Let's double check. Your name, department, school. It's not actually the course. And then the course. Got a lot of information that they've updated. That didn't used to actually be the case. So let's double check to make sure we're right. Your name, department, course, teacher, date. Your name, department, course, teacher, date. To make it perfect. So in our class, it would be English department, Northern Virginia Community College. Okay? So you get to see all of that information. When we talk about APA in-text citation, you can see that author and year. And of course, there are different rules when you have multiple authors, and you can see what happens if there's pages versus if it's an electronic document without pages, or if it's an audio file. I'll give you links to all of that, but this is just a cheat sheet to show you some of those differences, so it makes a little more sense to you. Now let's look at an MLA, sample paper. Do you see how the text just starts on page 1 versus page 2? Author's last name, page number, Aaliyah Gonzalez, Professor Kaufman, English 2005, 25 October. So here's the title. It's a long one, so that's why it looks a little weird normally, and it is centered. It's just a longer title. And then we've got the double spacing, the indented paragraphs. If we go back to APA style, you see, double spacing and indented paragraphs. This sample's not in Times New Roman font, but I prefer it because it just makes it easier when I do explanations. So that's why I say the font should be Times New Roman. That could have been Arial. It's possible that was an Arial font. But anyhow, so this is the short and dirty cheat sheet that will be included in the discussion along with this video, and links to MLA and APA style so you could get a sense of what they look like. Just reach out if you have any questions, okay?